Good morning. This is Reid Seals for AM 1340, 99.5 FM, WGRV. I'm here for the monthly interview with Greene County Mayor Kevin Morrison. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Reid.
First up, tell me about the broadband issues that were brought up at the meeting on Monday.
Well, this has been a weakness that has been uncovered by COVID. Reid, Greene County. We're very proud in Greene County here of our size, being one of the largest counties in the state, and but we cover 622 square miles, and that largesse causes a lot of problems. And one of the problems that it's caused is the fact that not all of us are connected via broadband or with cable coverage or internet coverage. And again, that was discovered to be a major issue when we started trying to do something with the school system and getting our kids educated virtually. About 30 to 35% of all families and households with children of school age across Greene County do not have connectivity to the internet. Another 7 or 8 are in a situation where they have the ability to be connected, but it's an affordability issue. Other counties around the Northeast Tennessee region, nearly every county has partnered, I guess is the best word, has partnered with their electrical providers or their electrical cooperative in constructing the network necessary to connect everybody with broadband internet. Now, there are limited monies or grant monies that are available to assist with these infrastructure costs or offsetting, helping the electrical service companies and the cooperatives offset some of their costs with infrastructure as they build out these systems. But there's limited organizations that are available to us to actually accomplish this task. So, it's the county doesn't have, for instance, the infrastructure, the equipment, or the personnel in order to accomplish this task. And what we're looking at is more or less the TVA project of its day. This is the challenge that we have before us, is to cover 622 square miles with broadband internet. So there are basically 2 organizations, Comcast or the Greeneville Light and Power, that have the infrastructure and the equipment that can actually accomplish this task. So we're in talks and negotiations with. Things are looking very, very good in terms of being able to get something started to begin to connect our county together so that we don't have to go through this pain later on, and that people that are out in the counties in the more rural areas that have anticipated and desire to be have internet service or cable service can eventually get connected. So once again, this is sort of the TVA NASA moonshot project for our area. It takes a lot of money. Figures, for instance, of $200 million in order to accomplish this task have been thrown around. The most obvious thing is that there are no really quick fixes to this problem. So it's an ongoing solution that requires the cooperation and the hard work and dedication of many, but we're dedicated to get it done. So I guess stand by and maybe we can have some good news on the horizon with regard to getting everybody connected.
The Greene County Commission approved on Monday for animal control to purchase a new truck using the rabies vaccine fee. Tell us how that works.
Well, there's a vaccination fee attached to every rabies vaccination that the veterinarians do across the county, and the veterinarians that do the rabies vaccinations remit $1 and that's the fee. There's a $1 fee attached to each rabies vaccination that's remitted to animal control, or it's remitted to the county, and then it's a pass-through to the animal control's budget. This was established, Reid, several years ago to to have a perpetual account, if you will, to support equipment and most especially vehicles for animal control. Again, several years ago, this monies was encumbered to provide 2 trucks. Monday night, we set aside, once again, decided to buy a truck from one of the trucks that we already have that's reached the end of its service life. And rather than pour money into costly repairs and whatnot, we decided to tap this account again to replace that vehicle. So it's a very good program. We don't see a need, for instance, to increase the fee. It's very sufficient in providing the needs for animal control, and we're just delighted to have a way to replace this equipment, and that's not too offensive in terms of cost.
And how is the COVID-19 vaccine going?
I've been out at the Green Valley vaccination site nearly every day since the beginning of the year, particularly after we sort of protested a little bit that we weren't getting a good fair share of the vaccine for Greene County. I will tell you, as of today, we are crossing the 22,000 mark of vaccinations for Greene County. And the vaccination center is going absolutely phenomenal. It's a very well organized endeavor out there, and I know that if we're going to get back to some type of normal, Reid, nothing is going to change the trajectory of the number of cases and hold down the number of deaths like getting vaccinated. All former presidents, chief executives of our country have endorsed and encouraged vaccinations. I know I want to call out the special effort by some of our local pharmacies, Corley's Pharmacy Solutions, Ashley Drug Center, and Greene County Drug had a vaccination pod at First Baptist Church here over the weekend. And the latest figures that I got from that vaccination pod was in the neighborhood of 550 to 600 people received vaccinations just that Saturday alone. And combined, those 4 local pharmacies have distributed more than 4,000 doses to Greene Countyans. So it is having an impact on our numbers. And if we ever want to get back to school and work and family and vacations and other activities and sports, I know that I've got a senior in high school and I've missed a lot of things. I know there's a lot of parents out there that are listening to this broadcast that have missed graduations. They've had different things with their children compromised, football games and sports activities and things that only come around once in a lifetime. And those memories have been compromised due to COVID. But we're getting, I think, drawing near to the end of this dark tunnel. We can certainly see a light. People are continuing to do the things necessary to protect themselves, to wear a mask when they're close to people for an extended period of time when they can't social distance, to continue to sanitize and sterilize, commonly touched things, and then social distance where you can. And those things combined with the vaccinations have definitely made a big, big difference. I think they will continue to do so, and then we can get back to this, to some recognized normal. I know over the course of the last 2 weeks, we had a business here in town that had a ribbon cutting, and it was good to go down there and to gather with folks. We still tried to social distance and have masks on, but you could stand there and just feel that a recognized normal wasn't too far away. And with spring coming, again, we've had a year of misery, and we're getting hopefully to the end of it. But I just encourage everyone, again, in the 22,000 doses that we've given at Green Valley, we've not had a serious medical issue or reaction yet. So the vaccine is very safe and very effective. I was very encouraged to hear former President Trump endorse that. That is a hallmark of his administration, and we just want everybody to come out and get vaccinated because this is the way out of this thing. The recognized normal that I talk about is going to come via a shot in the arm. So there's been little issues. I had my first vaccination, and my arm got a little sore. Nothing other than that. I know other people have reported different things, perhaps a little body ache, a little fever, but that's certainly a small sacrifice to try to stay away from COVID because it's bad news in the right body type.
What updates can you give on current county projects?
Well, Reid, despite sort of COVID, we've had a banner year for getting things accomplished and saving money for Greene County. Right now we're beginning to wrap up the fuel farm or the fuel depot that's being installed behind the highway department off of Hal Hennard Road. We're ready to fuel that facility and test the system so that we can begin reaping the benefits and savings, and not a minute too soon. Of course, everybody that's listening to this knows that the price of gasoline has risen somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 to 75 cents a gallon since inauguration, and that has an impact to the different departments in Greene County's budget. We'll have a facility down there. There's two 12,000-gallon tanks, one for diesel and one for gasoline. They'll have cameraed access at night to this facility. It's going to be a very safe and secure facility. It's an above-ground facility, so the same rules doesn't necessarily apply to the environmental concerns that we have with underground tanks. Two of which we still have, but it's a tremendous savings to the taxpayers of Greene County to have that facility that we can buy gasoline wholesale and fuel our fleet, our ambulance fleet, our patrol car fleet, our solid waste, our highway department fleet. I mean, government uses a lot of fuel, and that savings then gets after it pays for this facility, which we think we can do just with the savings alone in about 2 years. And then all of that savings from the budget can be used or repurposed for in other ways for equipment and other savings in other areas. The other thing that we're sort of most proud of recently is the DeBus Convenience Center has come online. That facility was renovated and opened as a full convenience center, and we have it open 6 days a week. The reason for that is to try to take a little pressure off of South Greene. Of course, that center out there is the only center that we have that still utilizes the dumpster containers rather than the compactors. But we've had perpetual issues out at South Greene with space and traffic management, of course, particularly on Saturdays. We recognize, for instance, the danger and the risk because of those space and traffic issues for traffic getting backed up on the Asheville Highway and that sort of thing. All it's going to take is for one person just to not be paying attention and there to be an issue out there with safety. But there will be an expansion there that will start soon now that DeBusk is a full center. And those are a couple of the projects that we're looking at. We're looking at doing a little excavation there behind the South Greene Center and expanding the fence sort of more toward the rear of our property there to be able to accommodate. We may change the traffic patterns a little bit to make sure that we don't have traffic backing up out onto the Asheville Highway. But we're getting closer to a solution that's much safer, that'll be much more convenient, and better for for everybody there in the DeBusk and South Greene area with regard to throwing away their garbage in our convenience center. So we'll see how that works out for us, Reid.
Well, I want to thank Greene County Mayor Kevin Morrison for joining us today. This is Reid Seals for AM 1340 and 99.5 FM WGRV.